had a cool question yesterday, and I actually want to know what everybody else thinks. When somebody asked me, what would I have to say about the idea of a chakra being imbalanced? And my response to that was, imbalanced or imbalanced in reference to what? Because I think that if we try to fit our personalities or ourselves, our beingness into a form, and a lot of spiritual practices have a lot of forms, then by comparison, anything could appear to be imbalanced. What's the reference point? What is the point in which something is balanced and then it becomes imbalanced? So I could say that your crown chakra would be imbalanced in comparison to mine, saying that you are too spiritual and not grounded enough. But I can't really rightfully say that if we don't have a universal reference point. It would only be a comparison. So what may appear to be imbalanced to me may be perfectly fine and balanced to you. So I've been thinking about it still, and I think like there is no real truth behind what would be considered a balanced chakra and an imbalanced chakra. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that using those tools are ineffective or they aren't valid in some way or another. But I guess my point is to bring into your awareness, if you have these questions about your balances and imbalances, in reference to what? And I think the ultimate reference when it comes to personally, I don't want to use the word diagnosing, but personally diagnosing your balances and imbalances would be, well, how do you feel? And if you feel like you have a lot of mental activity, maybe too much, and your brow chakra is overactive, that could appear to be an imbalance. But if you were living authentically, your balances and imbalances would always be useful, and you would be able to apply that, and therefore it wouldn't seem very much imbalanced. Like, for example, if I'm working at Walmart, something random, and I have this obsessive compulsive disorder in organizing all the shelves properly, and by properly I guess I'll say aligning everything within a 1/4 inch of itself, everything's facing forward, all the labels are the same way, just some hardcore obsessive compulsive disorder. Someone could come up and easily say that you're obsessive compulsive and your need to organize everything to that degree is too much. That's an imbalance. You're crazy, or you're putting way too much effort into this. But if you remove the job of Walmart and place in organizing maybe your thoughts and your ideas to that degree, to that exactness, then someone could come along and say, wow, you really have your mind together. So what appeared to be an imbalance in one application works perfectly well in another. So there is no real imbalance other than what you're comparing this balanced idea to in relation to what you're applying it to. If I worked at Best Buy and I had this obsessive compulsive disorder to organize all the wires and the cables behind the television and tie them all down neatly with zip ties and make sure that they're all the same length, and just, take it to the extreme, take it to the as far extreme as you can imagine. Someone could come along and say, you are insane about cables, and that type of obsessiveness over these cables is crazy. But someone who values organization and someone who values efficiency might come along at the same place at the same time and go, you are doing a great job with keeping the store neat and clean. What you're doing makes the store look much better than with cables laying around everywhere. So to one person, this appears to be an imbalanced sort of obsessive behavior, while to another person with different values, it's exactly what they need. So if you apply this to yourself and you say, my house is so messy, I'm so disorganized, I must be lazy, then that will automatically, by comparison, put you in a place to not feel so great about it. You can say, wow, I'm so lazy, like I really need, or I should, clean my house. But if your values don't indicate that you have a value on organization or tidiness, or you have a value on space and time management, then that's not an imbalance. That's just you expressing your other values instead of what someone might think you need to have a value in, such as organization. So again, you can appear to be imbalanced based on what you compare your values to, or if you shift your perspective about what your values are and what other people value as well, and you don't compare that, you'll see that it's perfectly imbalanced, because everything that we know of is a pair of complementary opposites. So for every disorder you have, you also have an order. For every so-called lazy, unmotivated action, you have an active, inspired action. And if you're looking at what you don't value, you're going to see laziness and unmotivation and disorganization. You're going to see more chaos than order. But if you look at what your highest values are, you'll see that you're perfectly in balance, doing exactly what it is that you feel most important in that moment, day to day. So an energy center, a chakra, being imbalanced or balanced, is merely, to me, a matter of perspective. Just like everything else to me, as a matter of fact. And that perspective will dictate whether you see yourself as something that's balanced or imbalanced, something that's ordered or chaotic. And the trick to loving ourselves for who we are is to see that our imbalances are only a part of a reflection of our values, and they're not imbalanced or wrong or bad. And our balances are an indication of our higher values or highest values, and they're not good. It's just, what values are you expressing day to day? So, with that being said, I'm going to go to school. Well, I'm at school, as a matter of fact. I'm going to get out of here. And you guys enjoy your day, but think about it. Where are your balances and where are your so-called imbalances? And tell me what you think about what I've just said.